Welcome back to another hologram guide featuring 2.2's newest hologram, Dragon of Dirge. This guide will show you the different moves the hologram will do and how to either avoid or parry them. If there are any differences in moves between lower difficulties compared to high difficulties, I will mention them as best as possible. I would like to mention that this hologram has a fusion resistance of 40%, so if you're planning to use fusion resonators, I suggest that you use other resonators, as fusion resonators will do less damage. However, feel free to still use them if you want to attempt using fusion resonators. There are two phases that the hologram goes through. Phase 1, which is about 100% to 50% HP, the hologram will do its usual moves without doing much gimmicks. Phase 2 triggers below 50% HP, and there will be a phase starter and will pretty much add movesets that will make it disappear and teleport to attack you. The hologram also has enhanced attacks, which create additional hazards to existing attacks. I will include those with the regular attacks, so the order will be regular attacks first, then enhanced attacks. There are a lot of things to talk about when describing these attacks, so I'll try my best to guide you on how to approach these attacks, since there are barely any visuals to know when the hologram will do their attack animations. Lastly, please enable this setting to at least on medium. On low, some attack visuals don't appear for some reason. Alright, let's get started with the hologram. In phase 1, the hologram will always do a starting move when you begin the hologram fight. The dragon will roar and cause a meteor shower. There will be 10 meteors that fall, causing an AoE impact. During this attack, you will also be in slow motion for like the first 2 seconds, so try not to panic dodge or you'll end up getting hit by one of these meteors. After the meteor shower, the dragon can do 2 of the following attacks. The dragon will swipe with its front right arm and spin 180 while sending spikes, then continue to spin another 180 sending a second round of spikes. It will then slam the ground with its left claw, sending a third round of spikes coming from behind you, and spawn spikes on the ground that will spring up. Now there is a lot to unpack here. There are no visual cues here, so you will have to play most of these attacks by looking at the hologram. Here, once the dragon's hand is on the ground in this position, wait half a second and dodge. You want to dodge before the animation starts. Once the dragon is putting its back towards you, dodge immediately. A good indication to dodge is if you do a dodge attack, you dodge the spikes right after. You might have to dodge twice if you're a bit far away from the boss due to the spikes still being in the air. Once the dragon's left hand starts to glow like this, wait half a second, then dodge. When the hand slams the ground, spikes will be summoned to shoot towards you. Some of the spikes will go through you, but you will need to dodge again for the remainder of the spikes. Now, the dragon will summon spikes on the ground that will spring up if you're standing on top of it. Otherwise, if you're not on top of it, in about 3 to 4 seconds, it will spring up anyways. To know when it will spring up is when it glows yellow like this. There's a lot going on here, but easier said than done, right? 2. The second attack. The dragon will slam the ground with its right claw and send spikes from the ground in 3 different directions. With the same claw, the hologram will swipe 180 and summon 3 circular saws. The 3 circular saws will stay in place, then go towards you, and the hologram will fly backwards. The parry circle will appear, and once the circle closes, the hologram will dive down towards you, giving you the option to parry. There are no visual cues on when it uses its strikes, so you will have to kind of go off of movement. Once the hologram right arm is high like this, and pauses for a split second, dodge as the slam is fast. Usually you don't have to dodge the spikes due to the iframes, but if you are back far enough, you will need to dodge the spikes too. Once the hologram's arm is in this position, dodge immediately as the swipe comes out fast. Circular blades will fly up out of the ground and back down, and you'll need to dodge these if you're right next to the hologram. It's roughly 2 seconds before they start flying towards you, or if you want an indication, 1 dodge attack and 1 dodge is about the timing the circular saws will fly towards you. Of course, this changes depending on the recovery frames of your resonator. Once the hologram is up in the air, you can just wait until the parry circle appears and aligns with the circle. Then the boss will fly down and soar towards you. I recommend parrying as it stops the boss, but if you don't, it flies through you, flies up again, and shields itself with its wings. Then the wings will open and shoot spikes at you. It's a little difficult on when it will shoot, but I would give it like half a second to a second. After this opener, the hologram is open to do whatever random attack it does, including the attacks I mentioned earlier. There are no patterns at this point, so I'll just start listing the dragon's attacks. This combo attack the dragon does will put it in an enhanced state after finishing the string. You can tell if the dragon is in an enhanced state if the flames on their front are still there. When the hologram roars, flames appear in the torso and moves their body like this. The hologram will first do a bite attack, left claw slam to a right arm swipe, a left claw vertical swipe, then a right claw slam that will do a delayed AoE explosion that is visible. To dodge the attack, once the hologram finishes the roar and is at this certain position, dragon will swoon their head down, going for a bite attack. You want to dodge once the head gets to about this level. The dragon will go for a slam on their left claw. If the claw isn't visible on the screen, it will start to come down, so preemptively dodge. Then when the right claw is facing towards the screen, dodge as it swipes. It will go back to its left claw, and when that claw is on the ground like this, it will swipe up, so it's a good indication to dodge. The last attack will happen on the right claw and it will be on fire. Red light will appear on the dragon's chest, and once it fades, it will start to move its right claw to slam onto the ground. It will put a huge crack on the floor, and when the dragon moves the whole body like this, dodge. Right after the combo attack, the dragon will always follow up with a slam from its left claw. There is a regular version and an enhanced version of this attack. For the regular attack, the dragon will raise its claw and slam onto the ground, spawning 4 spikes in a square formation. To dodge this, you will have to wait until the claw is adjacent to its head, then it will start to move its whole limb. Right after the slam, it will spawn 4 spikes in a square formation. For the enhanced attack, it's the same thing, but the slam will cause a crack on the ground which will explode, and an extra spike will spawn under you. You will have to do an additional dodge on the explosion right after the slam if you are close to the claw. There is a similar attack to the follow-up opener, which is the right claw slam and swipe. This attack also has a enhanced and regular version. Just like the opener, it will slam with its right claw, which sends spikes in 3 directions, then swipe with the same claw while throwing spikes. This time it will spawn 5 spikes on the ground in a half circle in front of the dragon. Again, once the right claw is adjacent or above the dragon's head, dodge when the whole arm is swinging down. If you dodge to the side, you will avoid the spike trails, but if you end up following the spikes, you will need to dodge again. Then, once the same claw is on the ground like this, dodge immediately right after, as this attack is very quick. It will also send spikes in the direction it swiped. For the enhanced version of this attack, when the dragon does the slam attack, a crack will spawn on the ground and will explode after a second. You will need to dodge this if you are close to the claw. When the dragon does the swipe, instead of a light, it will have an active, small explosion on the path it swiped. Normally, you would already have iframes from dodging the swipe and do a dodge attack right after, but if you don't have any active iframes, you will end up getting hit like right here. While we are on this attack, the dragon also has an alternate version of the attack with these circular saws. Instead of spawning 3 big circular saws, it will spawn 5 smaller circular saws right after the left slam. Then the dragon will do a quick slam from the right claw and send the 5 smaller circular saws straight in the direction it was spinning towards. To dodge, wait until the left claw is above the dragon's head. Right after the slam, it's the same with the right claw. You don't have to worry about dodging the small saws unless you are right on top of it. There is an enhanced version of this. At the end of the right slam, a crack will appear under the claw and a spike will spawn under you. If you see the dragon's left arm go diagonal like this, it will swipe from the left to the right, sending spikes your way. Then it will move its right arm into a diagonal position because it will do another swipe. But here's the catch. It will delay the right arm by 2 seconds. Then it will swipe and do a complete 180. After that, it will turn towards you while charging a slam on its right claw. It will slam towards you, then send flying spikes towards you. Dodging here might need some intuition, but when the dragon puts his left arm like this, it will swipe immediately. Dodge once its arm is in this position. Now, as I said before, once the right arm is in this position, the swipe will be delayed by about 1.5 to 2 seconds. I suggest you pre-dodge here because the swipe is very fast. Once the swipe is finished, wait until the hologram turns around with its right arm. It will suddenly jerk with its model. That is when you should dodge, as it will slam the ground. You will need to dodge a second time for the remainder of the spikes flying towards you. There is an enhanced version of this attack. Everything is the same but has some additives to it. Both swipes will have a trailing explosion. When the dragon slams onto the ground, a crack will appear under the claw and explode, and a spike will spawn under you. I recommend dodging away from the claw, but if you want to weave in some dodge attacks, go for it. Alright, we can now move on to the more simpler moves that the hologram does. There is a move that the hologram does and might give you some PTSD if you've played Monster Hunter before. It's a very simple move, and it's just when the hologram charges towards you. When the hologram starts charging like this, you only need to dodge once. But if you're still under him, you will need to dodge again to avoid the small shockwave each stomp does. When you see the dragon lift their left arm and body like this, most likely the dragon will blow fire onto the ground. This will do chip damage, and I believe it varies to 7 to 8 dodges and 5 to 6 dodge attacks depending on your resonator's recovery frames for the dragon to stop blowing fire. It's a simple attack that you can weave dodge attacks in between. Another attack when the dragon will spew fire is if you are not too far away but not melee range. The dragon will blow fire in a cone, summon these light spears that slowly move towards you, and also shoot spikes that home to you. If you are far away from the hologram, the dragon will shoot 3 lasers. 2 of them will shoot horizontally, and 1 will shoot vertically. You only need to dodge the lasers that are shooting horizontally, but you can also dodge the vertical laser as well. If the dragon decides to fly backwards to retreat, it will make a spike shockwave that shoots towards you. When the hologram completely lands on the ground, it will then send the shockwave, so make sure to dodge a little before the hologram lands completely. There is an alternate attack when the dragon flies high in the air. Instead of a parry like this, it will come down and do a whole shockwave once it lands onto the ground. If you don't see a parry circle, most likely it will crash down and cause a shockwave onto the ground. Right after the shockwave, it will shoot spikes in front of it, so be careful not to go too far away from the dragon. If you are behind the dragon, it will swipe with its tail and send spikes to hit you. This attack will only occur if you are behind the dragon. When the dragon looks behind to track you, it will take a second before it starts to swipe with its tail, so I would preemptively dodge. Now, the last attack of the dragon is when it spawns golden circles on the ground. The dragon will do this 2 times in a row, and basically, it spawns a tornado on top of those circles. This is more of a rare attack, but I believe this only triggers if you're not melee range with the dragon. To dodge this attack, you just move away from it. The time it'll turn into a tornado is when the dragon moves their head up high, and then down low in a crouch position. I finally finished phase 1 of the dragon's attacks. Once you get the hologram's health down to about 50% HP or below, it will start to fly high and disappear. Once the dragon disappears, it will summon a huge tornado in the middle of the arena. As long as you're not in the middle, you don't have to really worry about dodging the tornado. However, you will still need to run away from it, as it will pull you towards it. The tornado will appear when all 10 flames appear. The hologram will then reappear in the middle and begin to start shooting a barrage of missiles. 22 missiles in total. The timing to dodge should be straightforward until the last missiles, which will lag behind. While you can dodge in the middle, you will find yourself not seeing missiles off screen when dodging. This is probably one of the most gruesome attacks to dodge, as you might find yourself eating 1 or 2 missiles due to some weird dodge mechanics or retrying the fight. Right after the missile attack, it will dive towards you for an attack. When the red flash starts to appear, it will start diving towards you. For the timing to dodge is when the red flash is like this. Dodge immediately as the attack is going to land. Once it's on the ground, it will roar for about 3 seconds. Doesn't do too much damage, but does constant tick damage if you don't dodge. Now here, the hologram has a mixture of phase 1 attacks and is permanently in an enhanced state. I'll only go over attacks if they have any special gimmicks or movesets added onto them. Again, a lot of these attacks don't have much visual aid on when to dodge, so you will be eyeing most of the time and on memory. Alright, so remember the Meteor Shower attack? There are more attacks after the Meteor Shower. So after the Meteor Shower attack, the dragon will put flames on the ground which will explode into tornadoes. You can just walk away to dodge these. Then it will summon spikes that float and rotate above your head. To dodge these, wait for a flash on your screen, and that is when the spikes will drop towards you. The dragon will appear again and throw 5 circular saws twice in a row. Just dodge these as they get closer. Then the dragon will appear up in the sky and a parry circle will appear. If you don't parry, it will proceed to go through you and shoot spikes at you, just like the original version. If the dragon roars, it will do this animation, then disappear. It will reappear in front of you doing a left claw slam, disappear, reappear, and do a vertical swipe from the left claw. Then a very quick 360 sweep from the right while throwing spikes towards you, and another one but the other direction. It will then do a slam with its left claw and shoot spikes from different directions. The crack explosion and spikes will appear as well, so if you're going to fit in a dodge attack, be quick to dodge again. Then its last attack is a drop from above. It's quite a lot of weird attack combos, and I would like to mention when the dragon does the 360 sweep. Dodge immediately as soon as the dragon appears, as this attack comes out very fast. If the dragon flies up and disappear, it will swipe from the left using its left arm. Dodge immediately because the swipe comes out right when the dragon appears for a split second. Right after this, the dragon will do a slam from its right claw. This is a parry attack, and you successfully parry, it will do a charge parry, which after this parry will completely stagger the dragon. I recommend trying to parry, but if you want to be cautious, you can also dodge. If you don't parry the slam, it will disappear and spawn spikes on the floor. Just dodge or move away from it. It will then spawn 3 circular saws, and the dragon will reappear by slamming the ground, which will send 5 spike trails and 1 spike on top of you. Dodging this is a little tough, so I recommend dodging away from the whole attack. If the dragon ever spawns multiple flames on the ground, it will explode into mini tornadoes. It's the same as the regular version, but at the end of the second time it does the attack, it will transition into 3 lasers. Not much to say here really, but my advice is just to move away from the flame circles, and once the laser comes, just dodge the side lasers or middle laser. That should be it for the dragon's attack. This hologram is hard, but at least it's not as hard as Hikari. Like the previous video, I really had fun fighting and learning the new hologram. Hopefully this video helps you all improve on beating the dragon hologram. The only thing that sucks about this hologram is that there are no visual cues like red or white flashing lights or any audio cues. This is basically the true Dark Souls experience that all you have are visual movements. Anyways, that is it for the video. Like, comment, or subscribe if you want to see more videos like this or future videos that aren't guides. Thanks.